Hey everybody, I'm going to do a review on this knife here. This is another BuckNBear knife, and now I say another. If you're watching this in the future, like 2037, doesn't make sense, but if you're watching it yesterday, I did a review, or I finished up a review on, let's see if I can find it. Old man back. Don't fail me now. On this BuckNBear, and you can watch that up there somewhere on the YouTube channel. So that one didn't go as well as planned, I'm sure. So I got another chance for another BuckNBear here. And so I'm going to go ahead and look at this with you guys. And then I was given permission to test this thing. Oh, yeah. It's not mine. This isn't my knife. The other one they gave me, this one is another guy's knife, and he said test it. And you will not find it wanting. So we're going to check it out. Alright, it comes in a cool sheath. Let's check that out real quick. It's got that belt jobber locky thingy that you can snap on things. I don't know how it opens because I don't have a... Anyways, once you get your PhD, feel free to open it. Very snappy, very locked up. It locks up nicely. It does fit the sheath very well. Just... Alright, so there you go. You got a little recurve here, a little sweeping blade here, kind of like a kukri. Ooh, just about shed my blood for the channel. Alright, so there you go. It's got the cool BuckNBear logo on there. Now they're saying this is D2. Now that's the question I'm wanting to find out. Is this real D2 or is that Chinese D2 that's kind of questionable as D2? I could leave it in the sink and see if it rusts, but it's not my knife. So let's check this out. 1, 2, 3, just over 3.5 inches of what they're saying is D2 steel. It's got a cool little cutout here for your thumb. Feels really useful for getting a good brace on some intricate work. And I'm sure it'd be good for if you're doing some feather sticking, getting some intricate carving done. Something like that. Now, remember on the other one, if you're in 2037, go back and watch the other video. The finish and the fit and finish on the other knife was a bit of an issue, and that was really a huge drawback for that knife. However, this knife does not have that problem. This knife is very well done. This doesn't have any sharp edges, sharp corners. It's just very well sanded down and made about 100 times better than the other one. If that handle felt like this handle, we'd have had probably a different review yesterday, with the other changes and stuff. So let's see what the handle looks like. What we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, just over 4.5 inches of handle here. Now the problem I have with this, and I do have some chunky fingers, so keep that in mind during this bit of criticism, is that this hook comes down, the little Nike swoop thing here comes down and crowds my fingers a bit. So at this point right here, I can feel this poking me in this finger and this kind of grabbing me on the end of here. Now it's not painful or anything like that so far. We're going to find out later, yonder, how painful it is to chop with this and stuff like that and do a little bit of work. But for me, right, it's not painful. It's just kind of like annoying. This might hurt though. I don't know. We're going to find that out. The pain I suffer, and lo, great pain was suffered. So we're going to check that out. However, keep going here. You got the green G10 smoothed out. Like I said, got a nice lanyard hole here. Let's see. Do we want to see how much a fixed blade weighs? Do we really need to? I don't know. Why not? We don't have anything else to do we? Well, except for the extensive high scientific testing that will go on here in a second. 211 grams and 7.44 ounces. That's not too bad, even for a big heavy folder. If you're going to have a substantial folder in your pocket, that's pretty close to what it would be. Okay, so now what I want to do is kind of show you how sharp it came so that we can compare it later when the testing is done. So let's see here. Oh, don't look at the addresses. I wish I had a phone book, but this thing is pretty sharp. Let's test it out on the leg, shall we? Na, na, na. Let's see there. Oh yeah, that is razor sharp. I am bald from mid-shin to my knee. Very, very not sexy. Okay, so sorry, I will clean this off with alcohol and other germ-killing products before I send it back to you, sir. Once again, just about took my fingertip off. Okay, so it's super sharp, razor sharp. Now what I want to do real quick before we go test it is I want to compare it to a couple things that I have laid out here. The one I want to compare it to most thing is this one here. I couldn't find a fixed blade that this compares to, but I knew I'd felt something that was similar to this. And this is what it was right here. It is a the Boker Magnum Hitman. This feels very similar as far as holding it. If I could just open it with my grandpa thumbs. Okay, this feels really close to this. This was all filled in. You can kind of see the thickness is really similar. Just imagine that liner was a solid blade and you can see the similarities there. The one thing that this demonstrates to me is how awesome it would feel if this knife was just a little more open-ended. See how this thing doesn't curve down and this thing just kind of goes straight out like a big black piece of poo kind of looking thing. Was that uncalled for? That was uncalled for, sir. But you know what I'm saying. It's like Mr. Hanky in your hand here. Alright, that's not called. I'm going to delete this. So, it just feels better. And there's really no reason that I can think of. Because the reason you'd have this is more of a what? If you're going to smash into something maybe. But what are you going to smash into with the G10 butt of this thing? Not really anything. If this is more of a take out in the woods, camping kind of knife, you're going to be looking for something that you can hold on to. And maybe even get back here on. Now, if you're back here like that, that might work. That might give you a little extra. But still, it's still for this area here, it just kind of gets a little bit frustrating to be hugged that tightly around the pinky. This, on the other hand, is a little more open. Is far more open and way more comfortable. And I think if this had, let me show you. If this looked like that, if you got it out of the box, and that's the way it looked, this knife, I think for me, will be a lot, well, not a lot, yeah, it would be a lot different. I don't know if it'd be a must buy just yet, but this is definitely something I would think about more strongly about getting if this wasn't curved down like that, telling me to just do it. So, this, if you haven't seen this is a cool knife. Get one of these. This is a really cool knife if you like chunky knives like that. Which I do. Alright, so what we're going to do now that we've kind of given you an idea of my main issue with this knife, not the fit and finish, not anything like that, just the way it feels on my hand here. That's the only thing. So far, no real issues. For somebody with a little bit smaller hands than me, not going to have any problems with this so far. Weight is okay. This is okay. Now we're just going to see if this D2 holds up like D2 is supposed to, or this is in fact a CR MOV D2 wannabe. We're going to check it out right now. Over there. Y'all recognize this? This is the dinner tray where knives go to die or be tested. Now what I'm going to do, let's test this thing like this initially just to see how it feels and if I'm going to be able to use it like this. And then I'll switch back here just to see how the steel holds up. So here we go initially for a little forward chopping. Yeah, that's not going to feel good. That's going to, if you're chopping like that, which I'm not saying you're going to do with this knife, but this thing hurts a lot and so does this thing. So what I'm going to do is switch out to the back. Let me try just a little bit more just to make sure I wasn't wussing out on you guys. Yeah, that's not pleasant back here. You might be able to see how it's grabbing me a little bit. Okay, so let's just kind of get forward here and see what we can do to test edge a little bit. Need a little fire stick in. Just peel that down a little bit there. Peel and peel. Peel, dig it out. Gotta make a canoe out of this to get back across the lake. Alright. Alright, now I'm gonna move it back a little bit just so I can chop without too much. Ow, that hurts too. But that's not what this is for. This knife isn't really a chopper. It's just, I'm trying to show that maybe if you know anybody over there at BuckNBear, tell them to get rid of that. This is a different knife if you just get rid of that. So here we go. Chopping, taking out my ring finger. Alright. But we're not here to worry about the painting. We're here to test this knife. Because they told us we could. What were they thinking? They weren't thinking. Ow! Okay, it bit me again. Oh, that hurt. This hurts. Don't stab with this knife. Alright, now you can see the chips flying on this thing. I'm not taking it easy on this edge. Even though it's possibly taken 5 years off my fingers. Alright, I think we banged this thing up pretty nicely. A little scraping. I just happen to have a box here. Let's just test it on a box real quick, shall we? Let's see how it does. Oh man. Oh wow, look at that. That didn't even slow it down. Tell you what. That fake D2 on those other knives, I don't think would do this. Look at that. Let's do some more chopping. Now I'm excited about this. I gotta get this tree down. Beat it, beat it. Alright, now, I think that's sufficient destruction intention there. Let's try it again on our handy dandy Amazon box here. Just happens to be sitting here. Look at that. All day, every day. Look at that. Tell you what. Man. That works. I mean, let's just go ahead. Let's just say that was 20, 21, 22. Let's just cut through here like 30 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30. All right, that's 30 slices in the cardboard. Just a bunch of wax into that thing. Let's go see how this thing held up. So here we are back at the blue table. Let's go ahead and see how this held up on some paper. Once again, I'm out of coupons. I apologize. Let's check this out. Holy heck, look at that. I haven't touched this thing up at all. Look at that. I mean, that seems just as sharp as it was earlier. It's like it got sharper being angry at the wood. All right, let me check it out on the rest of my knee hair. Let's see how this goes. Knee hair gone. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you what. That thing, still shaving hair off of my sexy legs. All right, so let me close this up real quick. I personally wouldn't buy this knife, but here's the reason. It has nothing to do with quality, has to do with my chunky fingers. If I had smaller hands and I was looking for a decent knife, oh, you know what? Let me check the price on this before I start lying. Okay, I just looked. It's $89 at the BuckNBear website. So, would you pay $89 for well fit and finish, well sanded down handle, excellent steel that didn't seem to just ding at anything I was doing to it. Check this out. There's no, I mean, you saw the way it went through that paper, and it shaved so nicely. And I was banging the heck out of this thing. So, $89 for a well-made knife, a well-made fixed blade you can take in the woods, and it's not going to fail on you. And the way it's holding up, I can't say that it's not D2. This stuff is holding up as just like you'd expect D2 steel to hold up. I wouldn't pay for it just because of my hand. That's the only reason. And if you have normal sized hands and this knife appeals to you, I can't say that it's not worth $89. Now, you can get into the whole Chinese knives, Chinese steel. I can get something else. Oh, I can get that Ganzo from the other day for 25 bucks. And that's true. You can. But that's not saying this isn't worth $89. Because if you look at other things in this whole community of knives, D2 steel, well done handle. Once again, this is not my jam here, but if you have a smaller hand, it might be. You can't say this thing is not worth $89. The other one from yesterday, or the previous video for you 2037ers, this wasn't worth it. I would buy, let's just say I was buying a gift. I would buy this knife over this knife all day long. And it's just for the fit and finish, what you're going to get right out the box. You get a cool presentation here. Let's check the presentation out. And you get great steel, great finish on the handle, which was our problem with the other knife. So, and once again, they're not letting me keep this knife. So I'm not trying to win this knife in a you know, hey, smoochy smoochy kind of deal. I'm just telling you the straight up truth. You know I'm going to do that. This knife, if you're looking for a cool, take it out in the woods kind of knife, I don't think for $89 this is a bad deal. Alright, so, like here, subscribe here. I was going to say describe here because my energy drink is right off. Like here, subscribe here, get over to Facebook, some cool stuff going on. Excellent giveaways, cool challenges. See my face in a zombie mask, or zombie makeup, or actual zombie, who knows. And check this out, if you think you'd like a knife like that. Man, it did the work on the tray, didn't it? I was getting some serious leverage on this thing, trying to just whack it to death. And it worked great, and it's as razor sharp as it was earlier, which doesn't make any sense at all. I don't feel any problems with this at all. Alright, I guess that's it. A little bit of redemption for the BuckNBear folks. It wasn't planned this way. I was just looking for an honest look at this knife. And the thing is, I was going to review this knife without testing it. The guy said, test it, do what you got to do, throw your worst at it. And so I did. And it held up nicely. I guess that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to y'all later. Quick addendum on this video. Earlier I said that I was not going to keep this knife, and while I was downloading the video, uploading the video to my computer to upload to YouTube, the guy got in contact with me and said, why don't you go ahead and sell this knife and give it to Piff and do something for the channel. So there you go. I'm a liar. But this is all after I did the review. So I'm not getting paid for reviews or anything. I'm going to go ahead and put this up for sale for the channel. And that's some extra Piff boxes going out this week for that, if we can get that sold. All right. Just want to make sure y'all knew everything was up and above board, and I will talk to y'all later.